Indianapolis Chief of Police is addressing last night's crime. We ended the year with more than 250 criminal homicides, sadly setting a new record.
Yeah, Chief Randall Taylor says that it was a rough way to start the year. News 8's Logan Gay reports on his plans to decrease gun violence in the city.
IMPD Chief Randall Taylor hopes the department's plans to decrease gun violence will stop 2021 from being another record-breaking year.
2020, I'm glad to see is gone.
Chief Taylor tells me he is disappointed but not surprised about the New Year's Day gun violence.
Safe to say that it was bad, right? We didn't end well. We've already had our first murder this year, which is not necessarily uncommon for New Year's. I mean, you'd like it to go a little further before you get your first one, but people get together and you know, add in alcohol and tempers and stuff like that. Unfortunately, things happen.
This is his second year as chief, and he says he has big plans to decrease the violence, including helping the community with mental health issues, giving officers yearly mental health screenings, implementing a use of force policy, and general orders board. Both will have civilian oversight.
As for the violence, you know, we plan on implementing some different tactics. Those crimes that are relatively minor, you may end up calling into a district or taking care of that report online so that we can free up officers to be out in the street, be in the areas, a little more visible in the areas to hopefully deter some of that violence that occurs. And if not deter it, at least be able to respond to it quicker.
2020 was a tough year for the community and the department. Taylor says they saw a lot more emotional-driven shootings and murders. He believes stress from the pandemic and systemic issues may have been responsible for the crime rate increase, making it challenging for the department to create an action plan. He says ultimately they will have to rely on the community to do its part.
Some of these people last year didn't have much of any of a criminal record. But for whatever reason, got upset and felt that the only way to solve that problem was to pull that trigger. So at some point, we have to come together as a community with all the different entities of the community, meaning the public, the police, every other department under the city's guise, mental health, all those things are going to have to come together to try to figure out how to combat that.
And time will tell if this plan will work. Downtown, I'm Logan Gay, WishTV, WishTV.com, and follow us on Facebook.